business meeting prior, or work session, I should say, prior to this, it ran over, but appreciate y'all's patience. And I would like to call Thursday, February 1st, Town Council Bowling Green meeting to order. We do have a quorum, and if I can have everybody please stand, face the flag, and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if I can get you to please stay standing, please. We have a Rick Hanley who will give us a prayer tonight.
Lord, I lift up before you our town of Bowling Green. Thank you for such a great town to live in, for the blessings you have given us, protection and covering over our town so far this year. I pray for our council members who represent us tonight. Grant them wisdom in their decision making, unity when difficult conversations arise, and courage to stand for what is right and good, regardless of the crisis and uncertainty. I pray you will continually watch over the town and place a hedge of protection over our county, our town, and our sheriff's department, our town police, and our council members, as well as their families. Thank you for allowing us to live in a country where we have the right to come and participate in our government. May they be mindful of the scripture that declares, except the Lord builds the house, we labor in vain to build it. And except the Lord keeps the city and town, we wake up but in vain. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord, I pray. Amen.
Thank you, sir. All right. First thing on the agenda for tonight is public comments. We don't have any public hearing, but we have public comments. And I see we have a few people who'd like to say something. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes. I will remind you when the 3 minutes is up. And if you can come up, state your name and address, and state your business.
Hit the button at the base. Tap. There you go.
Okay. My name is Sam Fry. I live at 111 East Broadus Avenue in the beautiful town of Bowling Green. I'm going to preface my remarks by sharing with you a little vignette when I was a teacher at the high school. I had a principal, and I liked him very much, respected him. But every morning, there would be a line of teachers ready to go in, complain about this, share this issue, share this concern. And it really wore the guy down. So I made a habit of going in about once every 2 or 3 weeks, and I would say, "Good morning. I have no issues. I have no concerns. I have no problems. Have a great day. Good evening, council. I have no issues, no concerns, and no problems." My comments are going to center on 2 topics. First, on behalf of the Bowling Green Vendors Alliance, the concerned citizens who were present, and those who spoke at the December Town Council meeting. Sadly, it has become exceedingly rare when elected public officials actually listen and take heed of the wishes of their constituents. At that meeting, regarding the pedicab business of Dr. Gene Young and Deborah Howard, Town Council and the mayor showed a willingness to listen and rethink a previously proposed ordinance. Bowling Green Vendors Alliance commends your efforts on that. Secondly, the Bowling Green Vendors Alliance has completed a successful first year highlighted by Tinseltown and the Holly Jolly Christmas Village. We had our first meeting of this year and are making plans to improve and make additions to our growing list of opportunities to expand growth in our business community. Having said that, we respectfully ask that Town Council join us in these efforts. We would like to meet with the coordinator of the Harvest Festival to brainstorm ways to improve this tradition in our town. We welcome any suggestions from Town Council. In this regard, we plan to make Bowling Green Vendors Alliance a presence at council meetings and keep you abreast of our thoughts and our plans. Again, a huge thank you to Town Council for your willingness to rethink the pedicab ordinance and to join us in any future endeavors. Have a great day.
Thank you, Sam. All right, who's next?
I just, since this is public comment time, I just want to say I'm sure others have had some issues with the trash. I did have some issues, but I do appreciate again this town. I appreciate the council members. I appreciate Trish and the ladies at the staff here in the office because it is nice to be able to have an open door policy where you can come, you can vent, you can do it in a professional way, and you can speak your piece. And I was afforded that and allowed the opportunity to express, my concerns about the trash pickup. It was about 3 weeks actually for me, but when I did that, they took care of it. The trash was promptly picked up the following week. And I also want to commend, it's easy to come and complain. I mean, this is a forum where we can vent. We can express if we're, happy or if we're not. That we have the right to do that. But I think it's also good to have that balanced and measured by the fact that, when people, came to the main office here and I heard the lady talk to me about how so many people come and they complain down and they complain and, actually just act real ugly at times. And that's unfortunate because this is a forum where we can come and express this as adults. We can talk up. We can talk to those in leadership. But anyway, thank you so much. I want to also say thank you to Justin. Justin is an exemplary employee who took care of my needs for the trash and the matter. So I do appreciate that. So thank you guys for that. And I have no complaints about that. It was taken care of. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Rick. All right, next, come on up. Hello.
I've never done this before, so I'm sorry.
That's all right. Name and address, and then go from there. Yeah, there you go.
I'm Nicole Cook. I'm on Lakewood, 106 Lakewood Road, one of the first houses. I also I've had a really hard time with the trash, not just trash. Recycling has not been picked up at my house since the weekend after Thanksgiving. I had to go through all of Christmas and run to the dump several times. My husband works 50 hours a week, and we are spending twice a week going to the dump. It's pretty inconvenient. Not just that, the ladies in the office, I'm sure, are getting yelled at left and right. I called yesterday and I was not happy, and I apologized over and over again. I know it's not their fault in the office. Here's the problem I'm having with the town of Bowling Green. I've lived here 8 years. They cannot point me to who can help me. Who can help me get my trash done? They gave me, I'm sorry, India's email. I emailed her yesterday, didn't hear back from you. I know you're probably overwhelmed. I understand. My husband and I pay a lot of money to live in this beautiful town. We came here from Stafford, didn't want to, but we did. I am so proud to be a resident of Bowling Green, but this is a mess. I know it's GFL's fault and not Bowling Green's fault. But here's the thing, we received a bill a week ago with a 10% increase in my trash that I have not gotten properly done since the weekend after Thanksgiving. I don't feel like I should have to pay that 10% increase. I think the 6th it's due. I will, because it's not that I can't. I just don't feel like my husband's hard work money should have to go to a service that I am not getting at my house. I'm here today because the ladies in the office told me this was the only choice that I have. So that's all.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Come on up. We'll wave at you too.
Never done this. I'm with her. I've never done this before.
There's nothing to
Um,
it.
my name's Belinda Straight. I'm at 254 North Main Street. And again, everything she said about the trash, and I wanted to add the water. Um, I've had several issues with my water bill. I just moved here in March, and I love living over here. But the stress of dealing with the water bills is really getting to me, and I'm trying to move out of here now. But I moved in March. The first water bill come May, I never received. I kept calling, kept calling. Nobody would get back with me. Finally talked to somebody. They said they'll get back to me. And finally they got back to me, I don't know, 2 weeks later and said that, well, there was a glitch in the system and your bill didn't get read or whatever, so I didn't have to pay it. So there go the next couple, cycles. My bill was the minimum, which it should be because I live in a household of two, and I'm not there on the weekends. So basically, one on the weekends. Um, and then come December, I get a $357 bill. And so, of course, I call over there, and they're like, well, maybe you need to check for a leak. So my landlord has somebody comes out, check for a leak, no leaks. Then keep calling them, find out it's another computer glitch. So my thing is, there, my bill went up. Well, it went up 4,000 gallons this month, and nothing's changed. Same thing, everything. We'll have somebody come out and check to see if you have a leak or something. Well, I just did that. So my issue is, I guess it's all done through a computer, and I've already had these two glitches. I can't go by what they say to pay because I can't trust it. What if it's another computer glitch? So that's my issue.
All right, thank you. Who's next? Y'all sitting there, y'all up for the trash or? Okay, well, come on up if you want to. Okay, all right, okay, all right. I just want to give everybody a fair opportunity because this is the last time you'll be able to talk. Once we pass on with this.
I had a problem with my leaf pickup this year too. So my husband has made the comment several times that we have to pay to be a part of this town, but he doesn't feel like we are being treated as if we are a part of this town. That's all.
You're down here off of East Broadus, right? Lakewood on Lakewood. Okay. I think that might get bypassed, because of where it's at. But okay. Yeah. Have they? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Come on up, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Lorene Wright, and I live in Heritage Pine Circle. And some of us out there pay water bill, and some don't pay water bill. It's not fair to the ones that paying the water bill. My water bill, I live by myself. My water bill is $211.
Where you at again?
Heritage Pine.
Heritage Pine. Where's that at? Across the food line? Okay.
In the townhouse.
Okay. Is one in the back or is one up in the
In the
front?
back.
In the back. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but project spaces out there.
Yeah. Okay. I know where you're at now, so I got a vision of it. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I want to know why the water bill keep going up. No, nobody knows.
If I could just ask, you mentioned some people pay a water bill, some don't. Is that
The ones in the townhouses, the ones in the apartments do not pay water bill.
are those the apartments by the nonprofit organization?
Uh-huh.
All right. Is that it? Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else before I close public comments and move on? Yes, ma'am, Bonnie. It wouldn't it wouldn't be the same if you had Bonnie. Come on, Bonnie. Come on.
Bonnie, South Main Street. In regard to the water and sewage, I don't know which way it is. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. You are paying for 5,000 gallons of water regardless whether you use it or not. Am I right? Okay, that's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you, Bonnie. All right. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna close public comment. We have nobody else. Public comment is closed. We're now into member comment. Any council members have anything they would like to say, discuss, comment on? Here's your time. You got 3 minutes now.
I'll be brief. Just two things. 'Cause I think Mark, are you gonna kind of speak to the trash in a minute?
No.
It sounded like somebody else was. Okay, all right.
I'll let India.
Yeah, because
I'm not too familiar with it.
if somebody else was, I didn't need to, but I did want to like speak on the subject to say it is good that you all came out. Uh, we need to know because we need to be able to compile a list to show the actual company that this is happening. So keep tracking, keep complaining about it if it continues. We need your all's voices along with ours once we're made aware. Um, and then on one other note, I just wanted to also state, we were talking about some water sewer stuff, in our work session, and just again, I just wanted to say that the county had a really nice meeting on their surface water plan back on the 22nd. There is a YouTube video on that, so I just wanted to like highly recommend to the rest of council and anybody listening that's very informative for the county at large and potentially Bowling Green at a later time. That's all. Thanks.
Mayor. I want to say just a couple quick things, and one thing I want to address: the frustrating thing about being on council is public comment. I used to hate it when I was on here before. Public comment is a time for the public to come up there and talk to us, and we're supposed to listen, take notes, which everybody's doing, and then we address it later in the meeting. We're not allowed to answer your questions, ma'am, and it's so frustrating. It's all I want to do just to stand up and help you and tell you something to your question. So it's frustrating, but you're telling us, and then we're gonna talk about it in the meeting. So that's just a rule we have to go, but it's not very friendly conversation, and I apologize. Talking about the frustration that you all feel when you call up here, I feel you. I just got back on council a year ago, and I'm a citizen, live in town, have a business in town, and I have all the same issues you guys do. I'm here to tell you we've got a lot of issues, and we've got some problems, and we've got some serious problems. The unfortunate thing is we've got a whole new slate of staff. Everybody you see up here that's paid staff is brand new, and they weren't a part of the problem. Now, some of us on council, we've been a part of the problem for a while now, but we're getting it straight. But this staff, it's bad. It's bad when you do something wrong and you get chewed out. But you kind of deserve it. It's even worse when you haven't done anything wrong, and you get chewed out. But you know what? That's what they're paid to do. They're paid to be respectful. Thank you. Nobody wants to take abuse, but we're supposed to be customer service friendly, and we are, and we're going to be. So when you're frustrated, know that all of us are too, and that our staff is taking a beating for folks before them that maybe contributed to the problem. On the trash, I'm gonna bring it up later because I don't think the town ought to be in the middle of it. Do you know the town doesn't make a dime on it? We don't get you a better rate from GFL because we are in the middle. We're billing for somebody else's job, and we can't. It's like they're not an employee of ours. We can't go jerk them up and say, "What in the world did you do?" You know what I mean? So I think we need to get out of it. And I can guarantee you, there's multiple companies out there. I got out of it at my funeral home, and I use an outside vendor, and he is responsive and good. Now I've had as many people tell me also that I don't want trash pickup. I got a pickup truck. I don't want to pay it. And you know what? If we got out of the way, you could do that. Or if we got out of the way, you could pick one company, a red truck, you could pick the green truck, and you could pick the blue truck. And guess what? If they didn't do right, you jerk a knot on them and don't pay them, right? We're in the middle of something we shouldn't be in the middle of. That's all I'll say on that. On the water, we don't go up all the time on the water. And I've been doing this for a long time. We don't go up as regular as we should in little amounts. And then we go up 10%, and it hits everybody's wallet. And so we need to be better stewards of that. I will tell you, we got to go up occasionally because we got to improve stuff. And stuff like USDA that gives us loans, they say, well, you haven't gone up on your rates and you're asking for money. So but it hurts when you jump it up like this. If we did it a little bit at a time, it'd be a whole lot better. So we're working hard. Everybody around this table is working hard. We're coming in to clean up a problem that's been going on, and our poor staff is taking bullets every day. So be kind to them. Understand what we're doing, but we're going to fix it. Guarantee you.
Yeah, on the trash deal, as I'm hearing, we can't even get response back email wise or phone wise. The last time we had this problem, they weren't doing a recycle. They were picking a recycle up the same time they were picking the trash up. So why were we even recycling? It went in the same truck. They didn't return phone calls. They didn't return emails. I went up there and stood right in their face and talked to them and told them what was going on. They acted dumbfounded, like, "What do you mean? You know, we didn't know." Well, if you read your messages and listen to your phone messages, you would know what's going on. So I know you know. If me and India has to go up there this time and do the same thing, that's what we'll do. Because I don't want to stand by and watch people for weeks not get trash picked up. You know, I've heard there's people out here that's been 5 weeks now hadn't been picked up. And I'm just finding out about a vast majority of this today when I was talking to Trish because my trash didn't get picked up yesterday. Recycle did, but not the regular. And I'm like, this has never happened. I figured they were coming today. She said, nope, they already came yesterday. And they missed a bunch of people. So it will get taken care of one way or another. Uh, if I have to go up there, if India and I have to go up there, and if we talk more about it tonight, we'll see what happens in the future. But trust me. And yeah, please try to be gentle to our staff because they got a lot on their plate. They're working hard. The main one I got is Trish in the office, and we got a new temporary girl. I think to start it today. She has to train her, so it's more work on her now to do that. So just remember that and say your complaint and note it doesn't fall on deaf ear when it comes here. Thank you. Anybody else before we move on? All right, moving on to staff reports. If y'all want to hang around, you're more than welcome to. If not,
I'll give a brief update on the trash for those that are still
okay.
here. And Ms. Cook, I did actually email you back earlier today at about 4:50 after I got a response from GFL. Just as an update to what we have done as town staff. I know our admin staff had been emailing at least. I've seen 7 or 8 emails back and forth. I've been on for about 30 days as of tomorrow. So when some of the issues were brought, I immediately jumped on them with GFL. I myself have not gotten responses, even though I've called and emailed. I've also emailed their regional office, called their regional office, and called their corporate office, which is in Canada. As of today, I got a call back from their regional manager at about 3:30 this afternoon saying that they would do an emergency pickup for those who were missed. So I have to send them a list today so that they can come out tomorrow to do that pickup for people who are missed. As a follow-up, I'll be creating a Google form so that we have a link on our website so anyone that's missed so that we can get a running list so we can really see um, the extent of this problem so that I can provide that to the manager. We have been working with a residential manager. Today we were put in contact with a commercial manager, so I'm hoping that we can get some better response from them. So I do understand your frustrations, and we are with you in terms of the town. As we have been missed, our trash has been missed as a part of the pickup as well. So we do understand it. We are working as hard as we can with them. So we thank you for your patience.
Thank you, ladies. Y'all have a good, safe night, please. Sorry, India. I didn't know you were going to speak. Sorry.
No worries. It was all happened this afternoon, so it's been a busy
good.
day. In terms of the monthly report, you have that included. Not to belabor the entire report, but of most importance, as we've discussed, our pre-audit work and our audit work. Staff has been very diligent on that. We have been working with the Berkeley Group, who is assisting us with pre-audit services. They are coming in on Mondays and Wednesdays at this point, but they could be flexible on their dates as we will discuss a little bit later about town halls operating hours to try to expedite that process. As you know, we are up again, some deadlines a little bit later in the spring that we need to meet to get at least our FY21 audit completed. Both myself and Trish have been working with the county on Keystone implementation. We've been reviewing documents throughout the organization. I've created an audit work plan. We have 77 items that we have to compile for the audit when Robinson Farmer Cox comes on site. We have about 7 to 8 of them completed at this point, so we still have a lot of work to do on that front. As it relates to intergovernmental relations, I've met with Kyle Bates from VDOT, who has been started the work on the 301 Chase Street project. They have begun some of that surveying design work. That attachment is included in your packets today. I included the same thing that Kyle Bates, who is our VDOT rep, includes with the county to their board of supervisors, so you can see updates, and I'll do that moving forward. I've also met with Stantec as we talked about in the work session, and we'll be meeting and giving them more information so that they can move forward with that permitting process. Under organizational development, I've made some updates to our town websites. We had our first strategic planning retreat with town council, obviously last Friday, so thanks to each and every one of you that were there and participated in that, as well as we move forward with our initiatives this year. I'll have an update at the next council meeting from the results of that retreat so that we can begin work on those priorities as well. And I'm available for any questions if you all have them. And I'd also like to formally introduce Mr. J.C. LaRiviere, who I introduced to you all via email, who is our part-time community development and project associate, who will be helping on all things land use related and code related as well. So welcome him to our team.
Welcome, J.C. Town treasurer, anybody got any questions on the town treasurer report? Moving on to police department.
I'd just like to say something to Justin. I just want to thank you for all the work you put in. I know we lost an officer, and you're doing it by yourself. You are an outstanding employee. You make sure you go to the businesses. I'm with Rick on that. I mean, you come to my business at least 3 times a week, check on us. You do it to all the businesses. I think that's really going above and beyond a lot of what you got to do with all the stuff, all the other stuff you got to do. I appreciate you.
Thanks. Mr. Mayor, member of the council, I don't have anything. Like Coach Fry said, you know, I'm happy to be here. So if there's anything that I can do or help with, just let me know.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Thanks for all your work. Public Works. I can tell you we've had 3 water main breaks in just this month alone. We've also had some work be done on the pump station down in Maury Heights. Getting a lot of wipes in there, blocking the pump up. They can't chew them up, so we're all the time having down there to work on it. And on what we can do to try to get people to not put wipes in the down the toilet, but they don't degrade. They clog the pumps up big time. We've even they've even they got a grinder blade on it and everything, and they've tried to do everything they can to increase the capacity for the grinder, for the blades to chew them up, and it's still, it's not working. So I don't know, something we can put on the site, something we can put out in the mailer for sewer and water, but something to, a bright color so they want to look at it. Say, hey, no wipes, please, because it's, it's costing the town money. It comes out of their pockets. And if we ever get a bad enough rain and we have a lot of wipes in there and that thing overflows, then we got a problem because you got raw sewage on the ground. And we've come close a couple times, especially if power goes out and we get a heavy rain and stuff. And it's so, but anyhow, that's all I got to say on that. Now I sound like Forrest Gump. All right. Anybody else have any before we move on?
I'll just echo what you're saying. We talked about
Yeah.
it back in October, November.
Yeah.
Sean had meant he was over there in that same pump station. It was down that in that time, and yeah, it's been a repeated problem.
Yeah, we've even I think that's the same one we had to put a new pump in that cost us quite a bit of money, and we had to get it rebuilt. We had to put a used one, I think, and then no, I'm sorry, we had to bypass that. Totally take it down, bypass it.
Maybe we need to talk to Mr. Gore about a class action lawsuit about to all these people that make them things because of what it costs.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
mean,
Yeah,
everybody else sues everybody for something, so.
you're right. They are, aren't they? Yeah, them baby wipes, man, they just tear things up. All right. Consent agendas. I see we got all the minutes, caught up on a lot of the minutes. Thank you, Trish. I know you worked hard, and I didn't expect them all to be here, but do I have a motion to accept all the consent agendas 5 through 10, or do we
sorry.
have anything? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sorry, Trish, I didn't get the chance to call you on page 40. Two typos. I know, but I just,
Okay. Anything else we can?
you want to correct those? on page
Okay.
40.
You got that? Okay. Page 40. You want to just?
Page 40.
You want to give that to her, and we can. Sorry. All right, 5 through 10. Do I hear a motion to accept the consent agendas?
Yeah, I can make a motion to accept 5 through 10 with the corrected
Corrections.
typos.
Okay, with the corrections on which minute? Which one was that? 5, 6, 7, or 8, and 9? Which one was it?
Go back.
Agenda number 4. I mean, sorry, ain't 4.
And fourth, that would be 9.
9. Okay, on consent agenda 9, a couple typo errors. I have a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
Second.
I got a second by Ms. Valerie. Discussion.
Yeah, just on January 4th, I did bring it up that there's been a lot of constituents with trash problems back in that meeting, and now we're here doing it again.
Okay.
So
but it's in
it
there,
was
right?
brought up
Okay.
back in January's meeting.
All right. Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none. Motion carries. Unfinished business. Audit process and update. Town manager.
Just to give a little bit more background on where we are with the audit, just so everyone is aware. The town had discussions with Brown and Edwards to help and assist with the pre-audit work. Mr. Anzavino, who served as the interim town manager, had some outreach with them back in the fall with the hopes that they would come in at the end of December. When I got on board about midway through January, we had a discussion and they asked for some items, but also discussed their availability to be able to help the town. And I requested some information on a schedule of fees, and then ultimately never heard back. So John had discussions with me about moving along with another firm if they weren't able to fit us in their scope of work and their timelines. So we proceeded with the Berkeley Group, who has 2 staff people who have been assigned to us. Ms. Bobby Tassinari, who's a former county administrator, and Mr. Craig Montgomery, who's a former county administrator and a CPA, who is assisting us with the pre-audit process at this point. They are coming in. Bobby's in about once a week. Craig helps us remotely, but was on site once last week. And they're looking to help us, obviously, with our pre-audit process. The 3 of us have been going through and scouring every part of this building as well as other town facilities for documents. We are coming up with mostly 22, FY22, FY23. Not a whole lot of information on 21. So we are having to do some additional work to prepare working papers for our audit process. That's where we are to date with the pre-audit work. After the pre-audit work is completed, which I mentioned, I've created a work plan. We have about 77 items that we have to either create or provide to the auditors once they begin their work, and then the audit will take a couple weeks. We have Mr. Mike Moran from Robinson Farmer Cox, that is our audit lead. They will then be on site, but we will also be uploading documents for them to review remotely once we get to that point. So I wanted to give council an update where we are at this point, knowing that we have some deadlines pressing on us in April of this year to get some information back to USDA. So we are working as diligently as possible, but as we discussed on Friday, that we will probably need to amend our town operational hours here at Town Hall to be able to accommodate to meet those deadlines. So we'll talk a little bit about that later in the meeting, but just wanted to give you all an update as to where we are at this point. And then also as we plan for next year's budget cycle, that Robinson Farmer Cox will be providing additional agreements to me for fiscal years 22, 23, and 24. By law, we're supposed to be under contract for auditors by April 1st for that previous or the current audit. So that means we'll need to be under contract for 24 by April as well. So we'll be working with them to obtain quotes. They have indicated to me that the rate that we had from 21 inflation, adjusting for inflation, that we can expect anywhere from a 5 to 10% increase for subsequent years. So I'll be looking to build that into the budget process as well.
You know, right now we're at what, 20 grand just for 21's audit, and that's not including the increase. And then we have to renegotiate for the other 2 remaining audits, correct?
There will be 3.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got 21, and then you got 21, 22, you got 22, 23, 20. Okay, yeah, there's 3 altogether. So right now, one of them is at 20 grand plus a 5 or 10% increase. The other 2 we have to negotiate a cost on those, correct?
There will be 3 that we'll have to negotiate at that point.
So we're going to have
FY
to
22, 23,
this
and
year
24.
coming up. This one here. Okay, all right, I got you.
And there are essentially only 2 firms that are in this business for local government. That's Brown and Edwards and RFCA. So the reality of us being to be able to negotiate
doesn't give you much.
Won't be a lot of wiggle room.
And they'll always put us in the end because they can do the bigger areas first before they do the small ones. So, you know, us trying to get audits on time when we're supposed to is always going to be later, you know, no matter what. Anything else?
That's all I have on that item, sir.
Okay. All right, next one, item 12, town council vacancy appointment. I don't understand what we need to do. Maybe you can help me, because we're supposed to go into closed session to go over who is sending their request to be on council. So we can just blow by 12.
You can motion to amend the agenda to remove item 12, since you've already moved to put it as a closed session item.
Okay, all right. Do I have a motion to strike item 12 from the agenda?
I'll make the motion.
I got a motion by
I'll second.
Randy. I got a second by Jeff. All in favor? Discussions. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, item 12 has been stricken from the agenda. All right, now we're down to new business. Item 13, fiscal year 24-25 budget process, town manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of council, as we discussed on Friday, we discussed the budget calendar and the budget process at the retreat. So before you have just a calendar on what we discussed at that meeting as an outcome of that meeting for you all to adopt, so that myself and the rest of town staff can work towards bringing you a budget for consideration for FY24, FY25.
Any questions on it? Anybody? All right. Moving on to item 14, town hall hours of operation.
Just need you to motion to adopt the budget calendar.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries.
You
I'll
all
make
right?
a motion to adopt that.
All right, I got a motion by Randy. I got a second by Jeff. All right. The motion is to accept the budget calendar for 24-25 budget. All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Hearing none, motion carries 100%. Now we'll move on to 14.
Thank you. As we discussed at the retreat on Friday, due to staffing shortages and challenges as we have related to the audit and other backloads of items that we need to work on, I'll be proposing modifying our office hours to be open on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, to be closed on Tuesday and Thursday so that staff can dedicate exclusively to our financial matters, audit matters, and other pressing deadlines on behalf of the town.
I make a motion that we approve that modified schedule.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got a second by Valerie. Okay. What? Okay. Any discussion?
You're real quick. Just
Okay, go ahead, sir.
What is because the public is certainly going to be paying attention to this and watching this. Obviously, you'll advertise this and all the advertise publicize this where you need to on the website and the town social media and everything. Do you foresee? we don't have a local paper. Sorry, got distracted there. No, that was not you. That was me. As a couple weeks go by, hopefully you can like revisit and maybe take it from 2 days to 1 day and go from there. But you'll have to see how things go. I support everything in the meantime. Thanks.
All right. And Bonnie, I don't need to put it in the paper. You were here. You heard it firsthand. All right. If that's all the discussion, all in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Don't hear any. Motion carries 100%. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, town hall will be closed. We'll have people in here, but it will be closed. If you have bills to pay, we have a slot. You can just slide a check in there in an envelope, and it will be picked up and processed.
And phone calls will be answered and replied to on the following business day.
Okay, all right. So now that brings us down to item 15 and 16, which we can do both of those. We'll have to have the motion to take care of both of them at the same time. Let's see what we got here.
You should have one motion for each closed
That's
session item.
what I'm looking for. I see one. Let me see what the other one is. One I got is for a motion to consider for appointment of interim. I do? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. All right, well, I got it now. All right. Do we want to go into closed session for both of these motions at one time, and we can discuss them both one at a time without having to come out and go back in, correct? Okay, I just want to make sure that we're correct on that. All right. All right, I'll read the motion. I have a motion in front of me to go into closed session. Motion to convene in the closed session, consider candidate for interim council appointment. I move the council convenes in closed session pursuant to section 2.2-3711 Alpha 1 of the Code of Virginia for the discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for appointments to fill the vacant town council seat through the end of the current term, which expires this December 31st, 2024. I also have a motion. Let me see if I can move into closed session to discuss the proposed MOU with Caroline County regarding the town of Bowling Green water and sewer system as authorized by the Virginia Code 2.2-3711 Alpha 8 for consideration with legal counsel employed or retained by a public body regarding specific legal matters regarding the provision of legal advice by such counsel. I made the motions. Do I have anybody?
Mr. Mayor, I appreciate you reading those. I'd like to make the motion that we go into closed session for the both stated reasons.
Okay, I have a motion by
I'll second
David,
it.
second by Randy. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are now in closed session, so if everybody else may vacate, please.